Hey guys, it's Corinne here again with a quick speed build from the other week when I decided to do a speed build. So finally I am getting it uploaded to my channel and hopefully some people watch it and enjoy it. Please remember to subscribe and like to support me in my new endeavor to combine my hobbies of The Sims and talking. Yeah, you should definitely like and subscribe. Anyway, so I'm doing a speed build of a renovated barn. Why? I have no idea why. I've never lived in a barn. I have never even been to a renovated barn, but I thought, hey, why not? This is The Sims and anything is possible in The Sims. So I have designed a beautiful barn to live in. It's open plan, so it's very different to what I'd normally build, but you know, I just thought, why not do something a bit different and unique? So struggling to find windows at this stage that match the whole concept. And I'm pretty sure I changed these out a fair few times before actually deciding on what I like. Or maybe I leave those ones in. Seems to me that I leave those ones in. Yes, I do. Okay, now I have actually played with this household as well, so I can confirm that everything in the house is usable, even though I have sized some of the stuff up, like the front doors. They all work and look pretty funny when they open and whatnot as well. So if you wanted to download this for your town, it's a hashtag korinalea, just like my YouTube username, and you can find that on Origin to use in your own Sims world, which is pretty cool. So ultimately, that's pretty much the outside done. I now move into the inside. I do struggle a little bit in this section. I don't know why, but I started to kind of have a bit of issues, you know, but I soon resolve that because that's how I roll. Anyway, so if you haven't watched my first video yet, that's pretty awesome. It's a legacy challenge that I've started purely for the purposes of this channel, to be honest, but it's pretty fun. I don't mind legacy challenges, so I've got a few ideas up my sleeve as well for that, to a few plot twists and turns, which I'm pretty excited to introduce. So hopefully our sim, who is Dominic Sims, I believe, for our legacy challenge, will get up to some mischief. And yes, there will be some twists and turns in her life. So stay tuned for that one. Make sure you subscribe so you can find out when I upload the videos and yeah, you know, have a look at the crazy life of Dominic Sims in her legacy. Now, I do apologize as well if there's some noise in the background. Again, my German Shepherd is laying down behind me and following me around, but she keeps barking tonight. There was a weird noise before outside. I think it was like a cat having a fight with another cat. I'm not quite sure, but anyway, the whole neighborhood went off with all these dogs barking, so hopefully she doesn't do it again. If she does, I do apologize, but just pretend she's saying hello or something. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, so where are we up to in the build? So here I am attempting to put in another bedroom because I thought, hey, 2 bedrooms probably isn't enough. But as you can see, it is very open concept downstairs. You'll see upcoming in the video that I do start to struggle with what to put in this space. So I've just kind of, yeah, I don't know. I really had to think about it. But anyway, that's for further in the video. So I wanted to make sure I had some kind of clapboard. I don't know what you call it. Weatherboards? Clapboards? I don't know what you call them. We call them like weatherboards in Australia, but wanted to make sure that kind of was brought into the house as well, just to bring some of the outside in, and then obviously experimenting here with a bit of color. So I did have the yellow on the wall, but I've taken it off again. I do put it back on again later on in the build. And so I do apologize if there's some noise in the background. My partner has decided he's going to work on his bike in the garage, which is very close to my office. Anyway, so working on the kitchen at the moment. It was a bit of a struggle to try and get I wanted to have a round kind of countertop in there, and I know I've done it before in other builds, but for some reason I just couldn't get it to kind of function in this build, so I wasn't able to do it. I gave up all hope there and just ended up I'm pretty sure I just put a dining table in there and be done with it. And I've only just started to use these little end pieces, but I think they're really cute, and I even use them in bathrooms and stuff, which you'll see as well, but I just think it ties everything off quite nicely. And then obviously here I cannot decide on what colour to have the benches and what kind of colour schemes I want in the house. I did want it to be quite bright and I suppose airy, very artsy as well. Like I picture people moving in here that are like artists of some sort, and that was way too big to fit on that wall, clearly. There we go. See, colour. I love a bit of colour. Finding a mat. I actually really like that the City Living expansion brought a lot of decor in terms of like mats and oh god, I can't remember the words, like just art for the walls and whatnot. Like curtains, even those curtains are really funky, but I can never place them anywhere. So it brought a lot of features to kind of really get creative with your builds. So I really like that about that pack. I just saw before I started to record this, actually, there's a new challenge that I wanted to try, which is the Bowled Over challenge. So it's all to do with the new bowling expansion, and it's a build challenge, and there's like an empty shell that you get off of the I can't even think of what it's called right now, the Origin store, and then you pretty much have to like roll the dice, and it's completely randomized by what theme, sorry about the noise, my dog's decided she wants to play and she's gone. It was a quick play. But pretty much it's inspired by, it's completely randomized, so you roll a dice and there's like one of 6 themes that you have to renovate the bowling alley to be, and then you roll the dice again and there's a random object according to what number you get that you then have to put in. So I thought that was a really cool idea. I'm definitely going to do that and upload that for you guys. So, oh my goodness, my dog really wants to run around right now. Oh my god, go away. Okay, I might just close the door. I'm closing the door. Okay, now that that's sorted out, I didn't even close the door properly. She's probably just going to push it open. But anyway, so on this build now, so I'm trying to do like a bit of it's definitely like a country look, but at the same time, a bit more modernized, very green in this section because I wanted it to feel quite homey in that corner. I'm trying to get that I don't even know what that's called, record player, megaphone, I don't know, whatever it is, but I'm trying to get it. I was trying to get it on top of that thing there, on top of that cabinet, but it just didn't want to go. So it goes in the kitchen. They can listen to music while they cook. That will work. At this stage, I'm wondering what on earth I'm going to fit into that big gigantic space. It's like a void. It is a void, a giant void, but it will work out in the end. You will see. I do fill the space. Lots of greenery in this house because it's supposed to be a barn. So, I mean, I feel like there'd be a lot of green going on. Okay. Yep, all right. So, pretty much after this area, I then move on to the bathrooms. The bathrooms, this one down here, I'm pointing at my screen. You cannot see me pointing at my screen, but the one that's just behind that door is extremely tiny. So I had a lot of trouble with, I was thinking like, how am I going to fill in this space? I ended up just putting a toilet and a sink in there, not a whole bathroom because, well, I figure that if anyone's coming to visit, they're not exactly going to be showering. Well, they shouldn't be showering in someone else's house. But lo and behold, it is The Sims, and you know, we do that kind of stuff. So filling in the space under the stairs with another indoor garden, because I thought that was pretty cute. I've seen that in a few other builds from other people, And I really like with The Sims 4 that you don't actually have to look after the garden, because that kind of got frustrating in The Sims 2. I don't remember if you did it in The Sims 3. I know, was it The Sims 2? I know The Sims 1 you definitely had to water them, otherwise they just died, and then it would drag down their room score, The Sims room score. So if you went outside and everything was dead, it was just an instant plummet into the red. But I'm not quite sure now with 2 and 3. I'm pretty sure you did with 2 and 3. I don't really remember. God, I'm hopeless. I have them installed and everything. I just never play them anymore because I have The Sims 4. And I mean, when you look at things between The Sims 3 and The Sims 4, yes, The Sims 3 has a lot more involved in the game because it's out for longer. There's more expansions. It's grown a lot, whereas The Sims 4 is still relatively new. It only came out, 2014? 15? No, I'm pretty sure it was September 14. Yes, it was. So it's only been around for, 2 and a bit years, so there isn't a lot of expansion and customization yet, but moving forward, I believe there will be, especially with the new, in the spring spoilers trailer. They did show the little icon, which was, it reminds me of like a Generations type thing, the little icon for one of the stuff packs. So hopefully we get some more Generation type of stuff going on, because that was probably the best expansion pack we had in The Sims 3. Obviously pets as well will probably come out because they did find that coding in one of the other games, which is cool. I'm trying to think what the other spring spoiler was. It was the exercise equipment or something. Yeah, don't really care too much about that unless they're going to introduce some kind of like games, as in like sporting games, and maybe you can go and play sport like cricket or football or whatever. I don't know, because it's pretty cool that you can do basketball, but you can't really play a basketball game. It's more just mucking around with the basketball kind of thing, and that's cool. I totally dig that. But I remember in The Sims 2 you could go, was it The Sims 3? Oh my god, I'm getting all confused now. But you could go when you're at university and stuff and play sport. You couldn't actually see them playing the sport, but they still could go and do it, and I thought that was a pretty cool idea. So yeah, I think that'd be a really good expansion. And I also quite like the fact that we're now designing our own stuff pack. Like, that's pretty cool. That's very creative from Maxis and EA to do for us. So I voted #1 for that eco pack. So I'm pretty happy that that one was the #1 voted pack to go for. Just little things like being able to do laundry. I miss that from The Sims 3. It's very odd, but I really do miss that kind of concept. So I really hope they do bring that back. It looked like they were going to, judging by the art we had to pick from in the second voting section of the process. So yeah, should be good. And then the next voting process, I believe, is on objects once they've designed them. So I think that's later this month. But anyway, so obviously here, I don't even know what I'm up to. Oh yes, I'm adding some, I don't know, what would you call them? Knickknacks? I don't know. What do you call that kind of stuff? Dust collectors into the kitchen, just to make it look pretty. I also added the fireplace. I don't often have fireplaces in my builds, but I think the last few builds I have put them in just because, I don't know, I just think they're a nice homey touch. And I also built my own chimney because I feel like the chimneys that come with the game aren't exactly nice. So I built my own. It's pretty easy to do, obviously. You just saw how I did it, so build your own. It looks much better. True story. Putting in some chairs around the living area, around the fireplace now. There's a lot of seating in this house, but again, as I said earlier, I did struggle to fill in the gigantic void in the middle of this house, but I feel like it did work out in the end, so I can just picture someone sitting here having I don't know, coffee, because coffee makes the world go round, with a fire. I don't know why there's a thing of wine, what's it called, picture of wine above the fireplace, but hey, maybe someone's gonna have some wine while they're sitting by the fire. I don't know, I don't like wine, I think it's horrible. But everyone else seems to like it, so. In the middle here, I thought, hey, I don't know what to do, I'm gonna put in another garden. I thought maybe a tree, and then that idea went out the window pretty quick because I realized that the leaves and the branches would just kind of impede on the top floor and the rooms up there, so I got rid of that pretty quick. And now there is a mosquito. I'll just let it bite me because it's flying around and I can't reach it. So I don't often do gardens in my house, and I did it on the other garden as well, but I did lift up some of the plants just so they would look more kind of like they were popping out and I suppose more alive as opposed to just flat in the garden bed that I have created here. I think it looks nice like that. So it's coming together quite nicely, joining those mats together a little bit. There we go. And I'm pretty much done with the downstairs now. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I do. I put in a little dartboard. Why? I don't know why. I just thought, why the hell not? I don't think I've ever played darts really in my life. I did when I was younger. I had a friend who had a dartboard in her dad's garage, and we used to play darts in there and like try and creatively throw the darts. That sounds very dangerous. It probably was quite dangerous, but it works for us. We had fun. Anyway, so here's that tiny bathroom. And I really had no idea what I wanted to do tile-wise or painting-wise or anything in there, because it is a small space and I really wanted to make it try and make it look like it was a bigger space. So I chucked that big mirror in there, a couple of plants. My camera's just going crazy, obviously. Yeah, that there. And then I think that's pretty much all I really do in there. I get some art on the wall and that's about it. But I wanted to put something green, like one of those kind of wall planters on the wall in there. But I've already got it under the staircase, so I feel like I can't use it. I don't like to reuse things more than once. I get really OCD like that. I do have a little bit of OCD when it comes to things. So you'll probably see that in a few of my builds, that I'm quite pedantic about where things are placed. So yes, and I don't often use those tiles either, but they're quite nice, the subway tiles. I've started to use them a fair bit recently. I don't even know what pack they're out of, and I cannot be bothered to check right now, but I have a feeling they're out of City Living. I'm not quite sure. See, and there's those end pieces again. I think they look really nice as opposed to just putting in the full solid wall piece. I realize in real life things may fall down the sides, but you know, just reach in and grab it, it's fine. So again, trying to make sure things are really green with lots of greenery. Yes, so I did find a different planter to use upstairs. Oh dear, and now my phone's going off. Oh, it's one of my friends from work. Okay, I'll reply to that momentarily. Maybe he'll watch this video, I don't know. I should send him the link. I will send him the link and then maybe he will watch and he will know that I'm talking about him, but I will not mention any names. Anyway, so I like to try and, I don't know, put a lot of decor items in to make it look a bit cluttered and lived in. So I am trying to do that now, obviously, but sometimes it gets a bit difficult with placement, as I'm sure most of you understand. Do I leave that down there? I don't remember. Yes, I do. Beautiful. And I think 3 bedrooms is enough. Or if it's not, you can always expand. There's a lot of space at the top, so if you do end up downloading this house, then you can always expand on the top section of the house because there is a lot of space. I just killed that mosquito, sorry. It had to go. Now I need to find a tissue. Ew. Okay, it hadn't bitten anyone yet, which is nice. So, the Vintage Glamour stuff pack was probably my favorite stuff pack thus far, just because I like the design, the decor with it that comes with it. So it was just, I've always wanted a pack like this with that like Hollywood glam kind of thing going on. So to finally get that in my life is fantastic. I'm not a huge fan of that lamp, but I just thought, hey, it's pretty funky and it's going with the gold and black theme, so I will put it in there. I've used this gold and black theme a lot lately in a lot of my plays because I really like it. But hey, and I realized when I was taking the screenshots that I forgot to put a chair at the, I don't know what you call that, makeup table there. So if you do download this house, it does need a chair at the makeup table, I believe. I don't think you can use it without a chair. And I should have put one in when I was doing the screenshots, but I didn't because I was being lazy, and I will admit that. Okay, so again, going in with the cabinets and using those side kind of ones there. So it was, I don't know if they actually released the adjustments for, you know how you can click on your cabinet and then click the little side panel and it opens up that whole second section of the thing. I don't know if they released that when the Sims 4 actually first came out, or if it came out gradually, because I don't quite know. Struggling to find a mirror here that fits nicely. I didn't want to use the big mirrors because I wanted it to be more like a Hollywood glam to match with, maybe not Hollywood glam, but just not as modernized as the other bathrooms were. And I feel like if using those really big gigantic mirrors would kind of destroy the look I was going for. So got a little half wall in there. I don't use those ever really, but hey, it's nice to kind of do something different. And it kind of covers off the toilet a little bit, which is good because no one wants to see you go to the potty. Okay, so moving on to, I did a teen girl's bedroom, it could be a guest bedroom or an adult, I don't really know. You can use it for whatever, I don't mind. But went with purple. I just thought I like purple and I'm gonna do it. So that's what I did. And it kind of goes in with the theme of having the brightly colored house. So trying now to kind of mesh in some different colors other than the yellow that is downstairs to break things up a little bit. Too much yellow can be quite overpowering, I think. Put a little TV in here. You know, I still haven't got a TV in my room. I miss having a TV in my room, but my partner doesn't want me to put a TV in my room because it doesn't fit. In our room, I should say. It's not just mine. So I've actually had to put my laptop in there and I just watch things off of my laptop, but I don't like to do that. The screen's too small, you know? But anyway, when you're watching reruns of Grey's Anatomy, it's okay. As long as you can, you know, get that Grey's Anatomy fix. Because you've got to do that. Actually, in my Not So Berry challenge that's on my private save, but I might give you guys a sneak peek because I am up to, like, the way the challenge works, there's a bunch of different stages you have to go through and each generation is a different color. And I think it goes mint, red, yellow, grey, and I'm up to grey. And I may have named the twin girls that came out, Meredith and Christina from Grey's Anatomy, just because Grey, Meredith, Christina. Anyway, I'm a massive fan. And it's still going after 13 seasons, thank goodness. But anyway, I might give you guys a sneak peek into the challenge that I have going on personally in my private save. And I was also thinking I might even try and load up one of my other legacy challenge that is finished. I did load it up yesterday actually and had a bit of a play with it because I must admit I haven't really touched it since I finished it, since the 10th generation child became an adult. Actually, he might still be a teenager. Either way, like, as I said yesterday in my other video, I do randomize all the traits and everything that they get. So he ended up getting the hate children trait. So I don't understand how I could possibly continue that unless he accidentally has a kid or something. I don't really know. Yeah. So I also have the family tree from that generation. I might even link that for you guys because it's pretty interesting. It goes on for quite a while and it's an external website, Family Echo, which is fantastic for building family trees. But there's another one as well, another website that I came across that you can actually build more into the, like you can type more up about the story. It's actually built for Sims family trees. So, and I think they might have built it because of the fact the family tree that's in the game is pretty crap. It's pretty crap. Let's not deny it. I mean, after a while, once the game starts clearing out unplayed ghosts and people of people that have died, the family tree then just has a grey slot of emptiness, and you can't really trace the family tree back, and that's kind of annoying. So I decided to make my own on an outsourced website so I can make sure that I have a accurate family history for my Sims, because that's how I roll. So finalizing the last kind of touches now on the build, which is pretty cool. I really enjoyed doing this build. I mean, it was a bit of a struggle with the void, but obviously in the end I got there, which is fantastic. Very happy with it. And now I am using it in one of my saves. Actually, it's in my Not So Berry save with my first ever legacy family in the house. Is that weird or is that weird? and I had a bit of a play around just to make sure that everything is functional, because as I said, I sized up the doors and I had to make sure that people could actually get in the front doors, considering I had sized them up from their normal size. And they do work, which is great, but they just look kind of funny. And I'm pretty sure the Sims only go up to like the door handle. Yeah, which is pretty entertaining. So and I'm pretty sure there's some kind of weird glitch when they open as well. I'm not sure, but the fact is they do work. They just look funny if you're staring at them while they open and close. So, but yeah, that's pretty much the whole build. I'm just doing a final check through and making sure I decorate things a little bit more. I really like those old-fashioned photos. I was only saying the other day to my partner that I wanted to go and find some of those kind of old-fashioned type photos and put them in my own house, because I just think they're really cool, and you know, it brings a bit of history into your house. So this is the finished build now. We are up to the screenshots, so this is pretty much the end of it. This is what I have accomplished in my speed build. So please make sure you like and subscribe, and if you want to download this, I will make sure that I put the hashtag in the bottom of my username. So if you do go into Origin, you can just search my hashtag, or my username I should say, and locate this build and use it in your own world, because it is pretty cool. I mean, who wouldn't want to live in an old barn? Because I pretty much would. But I mean, it's even red. Seriously, I don't think I've ever seen a red barn in my life, ever. My grandparents have a barn, and it's like metal. Who even makes barns out of wood anymore? I don't know, but yes, they're mostly metal sheds these days. Anyway, so that's pretty much the end of it now, guys. Thank you again for watching, and please make sure you like and subscribe to my channel for upcoming videos. I will upload another legacy video at this stage tomorrow. Thanks so much. Bye.
I know where we can go. I know where we can go. And it's all you and me.